What's up, guys? Welcome back to the I'm Hungry podcast, and I'm Foster,
I'm Daniel.
and we're back with another week of summertime. And
Woo!
first thing I want to get off, we were just talking about this before we started. Daniel doesn't know what psyops are. We were talking about psyops because I was talking about YouTube channel.
So before you explain, everyone or just comment below if you knew what psyops.
Everyone knows what a psyop is. Dude.
I'm
I'm very surprised that you don't know what a psyop is.
I bet that Anna doesn't know what a psyop is. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna guess that.
Maybe
is it
not.
that known?
I don't know. Well, it's like psychological operation is what it stands for.
But is the term and like
yes,
what
it's like a real thing.
No, I know it's a real thing. It's just like, does everybody know about it? Like,
I thought so. It was like it's in like Zoomer lingo. That's
all right,
why.
Anna.
It's like,
Anna,
it's
we're
like
waiting
brain
on your
rot.
answer. Okay.
Yeah, and I'll leave a comment below.
It is brain rot.
It's a real thing. It's a real word, but it's like used as like a buzzword within brain rot like lingo.
Well, so that's why I don't know.
The
And
brain
that's why I feel
rot
like I don't know if
culture.
it's as mainstream as, like, maybe with like super young, like third graders or whatever. But
yeah, no, but yeah. So like, I wouldn't be able to like give any examples of psyops right now, but like they're definitely real, and you can go look them up. Like it's because it's like something like the government is like trying to like psychologically control you, or like some type of entity, some type of like being. Like propaganda is like I guess I'm not sure if propaganda is a psyop or it could be like kind of rolled into there, but like a lot in the modern context it gets used a lot with like, or at least in some examples that I've seen, it is like a TikTok where it would be like some like young teen girl and she's like all dressed up in like army fatigues and she's like shooting guns and shit to like entice young males to like enter the army and shit. So people will be like,
so that's just like propaganda and advertising and stuff. Well, what was your example though? It was some YouTuber?
Yeah, there was this one channel that people say is like it's funded by like the Chinese government. I forget, it's called like Kurtzagast or something. If you know it, you know it. It's like this little YouTube animation science channel where they talk about like black holes and like diseases, biological stuff, like science, just general science shit. They're pretty cool. They're pretty popular and they've gone viral a couple times, but I might even be spouting some bullshit. I might be spreading fake news, but I don't know. You know, like borders are about to fall. Like, you know what I mean? The idea, the concept of a nationality is so antiquated at this point. Like, we have ethnic backgrounds, but I feel like.
You mean like to say if you're from some country, that's your nationality, or like what exactly do you mean?
Like I am American. You can be Japanese. You could be Arabian or fucking whatever, Egyptian.
Yeah.
Like Iraqi, but like borders, I think, are kind of gonna be gone. Like countries are still gonna exist, but the idea of like fighting over borders, I think like next 20 years, either we're all gonna die. We've talked about this all the time, but there's no way that like we keep going on.
Why? Why not? Like
Putin's teaming up with Kim Jong-un. They're driving around in the Rolls Royce. They're hanging out.
Who is?
You seen that shit?
Who?
Putin and Kim Jong-un. They hung out.
Oh, okay.
He literally went to North Korea and they were like drifting and shit. They were like having their boys' time.
Well, but that doesn't mean that humans are going to stop fighting over borders. We have never once stopped doing that.
Well, yeah, but basically
like
Putin's going to go crazy.
He's
He's going to try and take over everything. And then the one world government is going to form to fight against him. It's an impetus, and there's a reason why it was created. It's going to be 1 versus 1. It's like the two coalitions, and then finally, it'll all coalesce into the winner.
Okay.
That's
so World War III.
Yeah, not even World War III. It's not going to be.
Well, that's what World War I. But it's two coalitions.
Yeah, I
of
guess.
nations.
I guess. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I'm just prophetic doom saying again. Disregard my. Anyways, we got because Daniel doesn't know what a psyop is. You've never heard the word psyop before.
I have never heard the word psyop.
That's crazy to me because it's definitely like a government thing. Let me see if I can find government examples of or like U.S. psyop, because I literally watched like this one, psychological operations, influence motives, and objective reasoning examples. But yeah, what's up with you? What are you doing?
Well, nothing too crazy. No, yeah, I mean, I've just been, I played at a memorial service, played piano at a memorial service over the weekend. And
do you still practice
nice.
like all the time and shit?
Yeah.
Practice makes perfect, I guess, huh?
Yep, you can't stop practicing, otherwise you don't get any better. So
isn't that like scary to you?
What do you mean?
Like the fact, like the idea that you might lose your skill if you don't like polish it.
I mean, I guess a little bit, but mostly it's like it's how it is, right? It's how it is with anything. So it's like if you don't do any math of any kind for 10 years, you're gonna suck at math in 10 years, and that's just how it is for that's with every skill. And if it's something you like doing, like music, like piano or violin or drum set, like I've got to practice several instruments. In order to, I haven't practiced.
How do you find the time for all of them? Do you practice all of them every day? How often are you practicing?
No, I don't practice all of them every day. It's just not enough. I mean, I'm like partially lazy. I don't have any reason. I don't have anything to prepare for now because I'm not like at school, like taking lessons and performing in recitals and competitions and stuff. So it's just down to me to motivate myself to do it. And the way I do that is just by picking a piano piece that I really like that's a challenge for me, and just deciding I'm going to learn it and learn how to play it. Even if I can't perform it for anybody, I'm just going to set that as a personal goal. So that's what I do for piano. And then like for drum set and violin, that usually the practice comes from me wanting to like make a recording of a song or something. So I got to lay down the drum part, I got to lay down a violin, like multiple violin parts, and it forces me to practice those, But for drum set, I've been, because I want to get good. So you kind
of like set a goal that encompasses all the practice and like new experience that you might need.
Yeah,
you don't necessarily have an idea or like a routine or something where you're I'm practicing every day.
No,
you more just have.
I couldn't just sit down and practice like my scales or some like.
I'm gonna do an hour of violin on Monday. I'm gonna do an hour of piano on Tuesday.
I mean, that is what I did in, like that's a great way to do it. I'm kind
of as you're learning and stuff, but like I guess like once you've plateaued with like your basic skills and stuff like that.
Well, for sure, basic skills, yeah. I'd say that is what I would like to do. The next form of like
if
I could do that, I would.
I'm looking for the word. Advancement, I guess, is like the goal-oriented one. I've never really had like anything where like I had to transition into like a goal-oriented kind of mindset.
Yeah.
It's because I never really thought about it like that. That's a really good way to think about things, I think. Like I purposely like make goals to challenge yourself. Yeah. Like whenever I'm doing things by myself, I don't want to challenge myself. Fuck that shit.
Well, that's what, that's how I motivate myself to practice. It's like if I don't have like an objective, and I'm just like I'm gonna practice my scales. I'm gonna practice like maybe I'll learn like a Chopin like etude, which is just there to help you practice your technique. Like if I don't have like I want to learn this piece because it's one of my favorite pieces and it's very difficult, then I wouldn't be as motivated. But when I have that goal, it's something that I know when I can play it, I know that I've practiced enough that I can play it. So that means I've practiced and gotten better. So that's what I like to do. Same thing with like Darth Vader and stuff. Like with the voice thing, I've made the goal that I know what the final thing should be. I have a vision for what I want it to be. So I'm not done until I achieve that. And then once I achieve that, then I just move on to the next like part of the costume and say like I want this to be, I want this part of the costume to be this way and then I just work on that till I get it. That's what I like to do with lots of things, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it helps me. Did you find an example?
I did, actually. That's what I was looking at. So yeah, it's real. The Psychological Operations Group for the U.S. Army. The second group, fourth group, they're airborne. They got planes in this bitch. They're in the sky. They're shooting EMF radio signals into your brain. They're making you they're making you crave I don't know, chicken tonight for dinner, I guess. I don't fucking. But yeah, and so basically,
that doesn't sound real.
So they have the group, but what they do, so I guess it's not like they're getting into your brain and stuff, but it's like social engineering and stuff like that. Like what I have an example here, like in Afghanistan in like 2005, it's saying during like the war on terror. Mm-hmm. During the war on terror, U.S. psyop teams often broadcast abrasive messages over loudspeakers to try and tempt enemy fighters into direct confrontations, where the Americans have the upper hand. And then,
so they'd be like, "Hey, you suck."
And in the Afghanistan incident, a psyop sergeant allegedly broadcast the following message to the Taliban: "Attention, Taliban. You are all cowardly dogs. You allowed your fighters to be laid down facing west and burned. You are too scared to retrieve their bodies. This just proves you are the lady boys we always believed you to be." Because apparently they like got in a fight and they like burned the enemy's bodies, like the U.S. And they were like in front of them. They were like,
"Wow,
fuck you guys. We're gonna
That's
set
crazy.
your guys on fire."
And
then they taunted them. They were like, "You're some pussy because you didn't get your boys back." That's crazy, dude.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and then another soldier stated, "You attack and run away like women. You call yourself blah blah blah." Yeah, they're basically just like
just
saying
taunting
like,
them, basically.
"Come and fight like the men instead of the cowardly dogs you are." Like just super disrespectful, dude. That's the shit I hate. Is like someone trying to coax you. Yeah. Because it's like I don't want to play your game. You know what I mean? I hate.
Yeah. Well, then you just don't. You just make them look like an idiot by just being like, "I'm not gonna." No, you're stupid.
Yeah, I guess so.
The only way.
Do you ever watch You ever watch like comedy shows? Like comedy specials.
Like which ones?
Do you know Shane Gillis?
Oh, like stand up. I do. Yeah, I've watched.
Have you seen Shane Gillis's?
No, I haven't watched his specials. I just seen
he's pretty good. He has this one bit about like the U.S. versus like the Afghanistan or like Iraq, like the war on terror stuff.
Yeah.
And he's talking about like I relate more to like the guys over there, not like the trained U.S. Army soldiers that are just like cold and calculated. He's like, I relate more to the guys that are like excited when they blow up a car or something like that. It's funny, but that's what I'm saying, bro. Like with like social media, this new digital age, like borders aren't gonna exist anymore. Like people are people. Like you're already seeing it with like Gaza and like Pakistan or whatever the fuck, Israel, all that shit. Like
how are we already seeing it with that? Isn't that like one of the biggest border conflict? Like it's
but
all
people are like super
place.
upset about it, I guess. I don't know.
Wait, what?
You're just seeing like way more like public unrest for just injustice, you know what I mean?
Sure. I mean, like no one, like the U.S. citizens' public unrest is not gonna impact what's going on over there. It
might, well, like if enough people make the right moves, it might. I don't know.
Maybe.
Like
but it's gonna take like legislative change, right? And that's something that, like, are you angry enough to go?
Not necessarily legislative change. Well, but isn't that the whole point of democracy?
Well,
is that we vote for the individuals that we're supposed to have up there? But no, because then they start. Then you got the greed and you got the corruption. We need term limits in this bitch, people. Only 2. You should only be able to serve twice. I don't care what the fuck you are. Only twice. You get 2. You get 2 terms. It's like do whatever the fuck you're gonna do, and then you're out of that bitch.
What doesn't have a term limit? Like, what do you think?
Senators, House of Representatives. No, I don't think so.
I thought they did. Oh shoot.
I'm pretty sure they don't.
I remember absolutely
I mean,
nothing from government class in high school. It's kind of sad. 'Cause I remember when I was in it, I like knew a lot, and then you just leave and you're like, it's gone.
Because you're not practicing. You're not practicing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not practicing government. Are you looking for more examples?
Yeah, I'm like looking, but I'm quite certain that a senator does not have term limits.
I thought that they did, but maybe it's just like the duration of a term, and then they can serve as many terms as they want or something. I don't know. I'm probably just making that up completely.
I'll ask the AI.
Oh God.
Do you use the AI still? Are you using AI still?
Yeah, I use it for some stuff. Like, yeah, I think I've talked about it. I use it for when I'm trying to learn something absolutely brand new and I have no idea like where to start. I look it up so that I get an overview of like what's going on, and then I can look up more targeted questions on like an actual search engine.
Yeah, senators, no term limits. Serve 6 years and can be reelected indefinitely. Representatives, no term limits. 2 years, reelected indefinitely.
Okay, that's what I was thinking of. It was like 2, yeah.
Governors have term limits, but they vary by state.
Yeah.
So some don't, some do. Local officials typically do, apparently. So what the fuck's up with that?
Like sheriffs and stuff?
I guess, yeah, like mayor.
Mayor, yeah.
President, obviously. Obviously does. President does, but like yeah, like who the fuck is Nancy Pelosi? Like you know, like what does she do? I don't know what she does. All I know is that she's rich as fuck and that she knows everything. Like apparently. I don't know. I know that she made like $1 billion on the NVIDIA calls because she knew that shit was gonna blow up. Big, like most valuable company in the entire world right now over Apple. They could buy Disney and Apple right now and still have money left over. Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's insane. The stock, like that's why I keep like freaking out over like the current state of affairs, because like the markets are going wacko. Like there's wars going on all over the world. There's there's famine. Climate change is getting worse. Natural disasters are fucking everything up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're either gonna go this way or we're gonna go that way. You know what I mean? Yeah. Everything's gonna get a whole lot better, or everything's gonna get a whole lot worse. I'm gonna stop doomsaying. I'm gonna stop.
Well, I think it's gonna get worse before it gets better, but True. It may not be just it gets worse and it stays worse. It's gonna like people will be like, you know, the climate issue is something that most people won't take as seriously as they need to take it until something really bad happens, right? Mm-hmm. Which sucks, but that's just how humans are. They don't. It's impossible for humans to see into the
what even is that though? You know what I mean? Because look at places like where was it? I don't know. I can't remember where it was, but there's already places that are experiencing like abhorrent flooding. Like people are losing communities, like whole neighborhoods.
Right, but people
whole
just don't.
Cities. Like
people won't admit.
But people don't care about it because it's not the U.S. Change. But by the time it gets to the U.S., I feel like we're already fucked. I feel like by the time California goes under and we're like, oh shit, Nevada has a beach now. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Then we're already fucked. You know what I mean?
Maybe. I think it might.
Have you seen that clip about Ben Shapiro? He's like talking about like why climate change doesn't matter or something, because like houses will be more valuable or something like that, and he's talking about like, well, if the water rises, the people will just sell the house and move. And it's like, who are they fucking selling it to?
Yeah, who's gonna live in the house that has water coming in it?
I just remember seeing that when I was like a kid and just being so like it was already so like obvious that like the influential individuals of our time aren't exactly focused on pertinent issues,
or they're contrary to them.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't want things to change.
That's what I'm like. I've been getting like ideas that it's just like there really is some like Illuminati cabal, and they're all just gonna fucking Noah's Ark our ass.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen 2012? You ever seen that movie?
I have seen 2012. It's kind of a
that
wacky
movie kind of
movie.
goes though. Like when I was a kid, I remember watching it. And I remember I thought it was kind of ass, but I saw it again like a couple of years ago or something, like a year or two ago, and I remember I was like into it. I was like, oh shit, oh no way, the volcano is blowing. Oh, like, the city's falling apart.
But it is kind of ass though. It's not a good movie. It's just like it's like entertaining, but it's not.
Yeah,
like...
no, it's definitely you just like sit down and just like.
Okay, which is like most disaster movies, if we're being fair.
What happened to disaster movies, dude?
Well, there's Twisters is coming
out. True.
I think they're still
and everybody's
around.
pretty hyped on that. Yeah.
Their cycle is pretty long. Like between notable disaster movies, it goes pretty long.
The cycles, man. Everything's a cycle.
Yeah.
Everything's a circle. Everything recurs. It's like a spiral staircase. That's how I like to think about it. Or like a drill.
Yeah.
Shout out Gurren Lagann.
Shout out who?
My favorite anime, Gurren Lagann.
Oh.
Go watch it if you want to see some peak. Actually, it's not even like peak. It's peak, but it's like the first half kind of sucks. I won't lie.
That's never an indication of it. Well, no. I mean...
No, because it has to. Because here's my hypothesis on, like, quality.
Okay.
Right? You need imperfections in order to be perfect.
Okay. Explain.
They're what like provide stability in a sense.
Well, wait. So do you mean like for the show? Does the show itself have to have imperfections in order for it to be perfect, or do other things need to have imperfections?
Well, like I guess for media, yes. Like media, yes. Other things, maybe not. But it also holds true for a lot of other things too.
No, I meant like. Is the thing that you want to be perfect? Can it only be perfect if other things have imperfections?
I think I think media has to be like books, movies, television, or music, anything really. Anything that you're like consuming for entertainment has to have some element of like imperfection. I don't know about.
But I'm asking about
the
specific. It doesn't matter what it is, but like. If you want to call this thing, like if this thing's perfect, does it have imperfections?
Oh, this specific show?
No, or anything. I'm saying a thing. If this thing is perfect, does it have imperfections in it? Or does something else have imperfections that you're then comparing it to, and that's why this thing is perfect?
No, the thing has imperfections in it.
All right, I disagree.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
It's the whole definition of perfect. Well, like... All right, somebody gives a musical performance, okay? It's perfect if it's perfect, right? Like if they mess up, let's say there's a big mess up. It's not perfect anymore. It might be you can argue that it made it a different kind of perfect. You can be artistic and be like, "Oh, the imperfection makes it perfect whatever." But it's not perfect because perfect means it was flawless, it was like if you sit there and you watch somebody give a stunning performance in which every single thing they intended for you to hear was exactly how they intended it, you're like, like that's why you go to a professional symphony and you're like, oh my God, or like a concert or whatever, you're like, oh my God, because you can't do that because it's so difficult to give a performance that good. And that's why they're the best in the world, because nothing they did was any kind of imperfect, right? That you can detect. So you're not going, this concert was so perfect because of the the subtle imperfections that they added to the performance, or that are in the performance. It's perfect because there were none. You know?
I guess but that's like a perspective perfect, I guess.
What do you mean?
Because it's going based off of the previous frame of reference of the perfect performance. And my use of the term perfect for this show, I guess, is a lot more like abstract, I guess, in a sense where it's like, I believe that this show encompasses every aspect of things that a show would need. Like, it crosses genres, it crosses like motifs and tropes into a perfect show. You get what I'm saying, kind of?
No.
No? Okay. Damn. I don't know.
Get the okay, yes, if it did that and had no imperfections. But if you say there's an imperfection there, then it's not perfect, like, by definition.
It's like rather than being perfect based off of guideline, it's perfect as a new, like, individual singular thing.
But I don't think that you need comparison.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying as well.
Okay.
So I guess I wouldn't disagree with you.
So are you saying that, like, the show itself becomes something that you can't compare to anything else, so it doesn't have
because
because
the first half isn't the best, it makes the second half the best. And it takes everything from the first half that, like, is kind of like shitty, and it polishes it off, and it turns it into a diamond. It's like catalyzes it and makes it better.
Okay, I think I see what you're saying. Sure. But why not? So wouldn't it be even better if the first season didn't have things that sucked, and then in the second season they just kept making things that were awesome? Because wouldn't the fact, like, are you saying?
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is that you need because if everything's awesome, then everything's awesome.
Yeah.
But if A was meh, and then B was amazing, and then C is A plus B equal, or yeah, like A, and then A plus B equals C, and C is insane.
But why does
it makes you look back at A like, oh shit, I couldn't have gotten C without A. And if but in situation one, everything is just B. You get what I'm saying?
All right. Kind of. So, but you said
it's a whole different thing.
Sure, but like if A plus B equals C, then, and you have A sucks and B is great and C is awesome, then if you had A is great and B is great, wouldn't C be even more perfect than the other C? Like, if you have a sucky thing plus a good thing, that equals a good thing. If you have two good things added together, doesn't that equal an even better thing?
Not necessarily.
So you're saying that the value of the final product is increased more when the first season wasn't as good than it would have been if the season was good. Okay.
The ending. It's like I'm thinking about it like this. So in materials, for example, we inject impurities into a microstructure to make it stronger. Like I mean, you probably know all about this. Yeah. When it's like bending, it causes like dislocations, and it creates like micro stresses that increase the strength of a material. So that's what I'm thinking. Like,
okay, but those call those impurities. That's just a word that we give.
No, we literally call them impurities.
I know we do, but I'm saying that's just a word that we give to that process, that thing, because it's an external component that you're adding to a pure thing, and therefore it makes it impure. But those aren't I mean, like, they are imperfections, but you could also think of them as just you're adding a good thing to it, right? I think it's different from the show.
Then why didn't God create semiconductors in the ground? Why didn't? Or I guess he did technically with silicon, but It's not manufactured and all that bullshit.
But I'm saying you're adding a good.
Why didn't he put a computer in the Earth if it wasn't already perfect? If the universe was perfect, and the
universe is not perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. Perfect is a perceptive thing. It's all perception. The universe does not give a crap about what you think about it. It doesn't. So, when you say that you're putting an impurity into a thing, I think it's different than a show who's like, oh crap, we had so many continuity errors in season 1 or whatever. That made it better.
Those are continuity errors.
Those are little sprinklings of awesomeness that we added.
It's just like, oh damn, like that character could be better. Oh,
okay, all right. So did they add that in there as a like a chemical additive to a material that makes it stronger, or is it literally just like a fault in the material? I think it's more like a
chemical
fault.
Additive, bro.
No, they made a fault in the material and they filled it later with something that made it stronger. Originally, it was not good.
No.
Yeah, the impurities that you're adding, the alloys and whatever that you're making, the specialized materials are not the same as making a specialized show by adding little sprinklings of crap. It's like adding poop to a pizza doesn't make the pizza good. It's like
that's not even a good example.
It is. It's like, better. Your example doesn't make sense. Your example is saying that this.
No, it's like adding like mushrooms to a pizza. It's like you need to get it. I don't know.
You gotta get. Oh yeah, this dialogue and this character was just so poorly written. But it's like a mushroom. It's like really good when you add it. No, it's not.
Because it's like you're looking at characters and you're like you should be acting differently. Like you should be making better decisions. You should be like striving better. Like in terms of the story, you're like watching it fold out. You're like you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing to like get the things done that you need to get done. In order to like complete the storyline of the show. So you're watching it, and you have this end point where you think you're going to, and you're gonna get there. But you're watching these characters, like it genuinely, like, because even on a second watch, this is what I'm saying. It's like even on a second watch, it's like it's frustrating to watch these characters act how they are in like this first act, and then watch them in the second act. For me at least, this is why this is my perfect show, because it's like it. Fuck, where was I going? Oh yeah, it crystallizes all of the kind of I don't want to say negative. I don't want to say like negative seems too negative, but
so you're not saying that the writers made like poor decisions or something. It's just that the characters aren't. So I think if it's just the characters,
they behave like they feel like real characters with like. They're like worried about shit, and they get scared, and that they like are anxious. So I guess it's just like good character writing, but like fucking peak
that
show.
Doesn't sound like an imperfection. That just sounds like something like that was written into the characters that like gives you like stress. But,
and
like, it's not like
that's why it's imperfect, because
no, I don't think that's okay. Yeah, sure. Then I agree with you. I agree with the whole thing then, because
I can't like I'll be watching it and it frustrates me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then that might be you might be, that's right. Like if that's what you're calling imperfection, then yeah, I guess I'd agree with that. I was thinking more like have you heard of the Star Wars show The Acolyte? Have you heard of it?
Oh yeah, I heard people hated it.
Yeah, people hate it. I only watched like the first 2 episodes, and the dialogue is so bad. It's incredibly bad. It's just so like that's the kind of thing I was thinking of. Like, oh, it's imperfect because the dialogue sucks sometimes. But you're saying it's imperfect because the characters like frustrate you sometimes, which may or may not be a mistake by the right. Like that may be what they were going for. But
I think like knowing the. Oh, sorry, I cut you off.
I was just gonna say no one's goal is to make terrible dialogue in any show, right? Yeah. But the Acolyte has succeeded in doing that, so that is a piece of poop. That's not that's
a poop pizza.
Yeah, that's a poop pizza. It's really bad. So like I agree with you. If the imperfection that you're talking about is more like something that frustrates you or that you disagree with about how the characters are behaving, then that is most likely intentional, and it.
I think it is. So it was produced by Gainax, I'm pretty sure, which they made Neon Genesis Evangelion. Have you ever heard about that? I've definitely talked about it on here before. Eva, as it's colloquially known in the spheres, Eva is it's just one of the GO anime, dude. Like it's and even to this day, like they'll be showing like it in theaters and shit. It's just such a introspective and deep piece of art. And then this show, Gurren Lagann, my favorite show, is considered like a sister piece to that.
Okay.
So I 100% think that the reasons why they did what they did are like for specific reasons, and even in context, like you really do have to like watch a lot, like all of it, because it's like the first watch, if you're just watching Gurren Lagann, kind of sucks. Second watch, or like it kind of sucks. First part of the show kind of sucks. Second part of the show, baller, super dope, awesome. Second watch of the show, again, kind of the first part's kind of a slog, but you get through it, and the second part's even better, awesome. So like second time is a lot better. First time meh. Second time's better. Third time you go watch Eva. Ava's the same shit. You literally need to watch Eva like 4 or 5 times to like actually like really start getting it.
Yeah.
And people will tell you this shit too. I work with a guy named Torio, and he loves Ava, and we'll be talking about it during work and shit, and he'll be like, "Yeah, I've seen it like 6 times, like 7 times." And so yeah, like, and then you go watch that, and then you come back and you watch Gurren Lagann, and you're like,
yeah,
and it all just makes sense. Like it all just suddenly clicks, and you're like, wow. And basically, TLDR, balance is everything. Too much of anything is bad. And it's really, it really sucks. And you gotta keep trying all the time, constantly, every day. You can't stop. You can't stop at all.
This is the too long didn't read for what you just said, or the whole episode.
The show, like the show, I guess.
Everything sucks. You just got to keep trying.
You keep moving forward, turn by turn, little by little. That's how a drill works. That's a line from the show. Such an inspirational piece of media. Truly.
Oh, that's a line from the anime?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, just like don't give up, and like even when it's at its darkest, you need to keep going, because what else are you gonna do? You gonna let them win? You gonna let them win? No.
Exactly.
There's this great part. Anyways, I'm yapping. We're at 38 minutes. I'm yapping.
We're at what?
Go watch Gurren Lagann.
You've got. I think everyone's got a good ringing endorsement from you, and a nice like synopsis of the theme. So if that sounds interesting to you.
How long did I go on about my bullshit? Damn.
Oh, no, it wasn't that long.
I always get so self-conscious when I start yapping, because I don't know. I feel like the things that I have to say aren't important.
You shouldn't feel like that.
I know I shouldn't. It's a problem. I talk about it with my therapist. I have like self-confidence issues, I think
everybody, I mean,
it's ironic. I have a podcast, right? We have a podcast, but sort of like this was, in a way, it was like I just want to be heard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think everybody does, and everybody is a little bit self-conscious about, or varying levels of self-conscious about, like sharing their opinions or like their interests and stuff.
Yeah.
That's just I think it's always important to do it.
Yep.
And everybody's opinion matters too, so
I need to get
most of the time.
Do you remember I would wear like a drill around my chain, on my chain.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah.
That's what it was from. It was from Gurren Lagann.
Oh, yeah. I think I remember you telling me that it was from. I couldn't remember the name of the show, but I do remember you.
I need to get a new one of those. I bought it was a keychain I bought off Amazon and put on my necklace. I think it was like rubbing off, and like the paint was like causing acne on my skin or something though. So I want to buy it and then take it to like a custom jeweler and like get something made. That'd be cool.
Nice.
But it would be expensive.
You could probably. Yeah, I don't know actually. That's interesting. Was it an actual drill bit?
No. But that's what I was thinking. Like I could probably like maybe I could like get it made into an actual drill bit or something. Like
why didn't you just buy an actual drill bit?
Because I wanted to look like from the show. I wanted to.
Oh, I see. It was specifically from like a show.
Yeah, like it's modeled and stuff.
Got it.
It's designed. It's all anime and shit.
Okay.
I'm such a weeb, dude. Holy shit. All right, what are we calling this episode?
We had said something in the beginning that was kind of funny. Oh, the psyop thing?
Psyops.
Psyop. This is a psyop.
This is a psyop. I like that. This is a psyop. And then, what should the thumbnail be?
What if it's just like us, like really close to the camera, like just staring into it? Like,
I mean, I guess. And then I'll put sunglasses on both of us.
Oh yeah.
So we're like some secret agents.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't
FBI.
be here.
This is
What
are you doing? This is a psyop. Awesome.
All right, cool. All right, yeah. Swag. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know. Do you want to hear me yap more about my favorite anime?
Always.
Check out my YouTube channel.
Never stop, Faust. Oh yeah, go to your YouTube channel to hear.
Yeah, I haven't made it, but I guess I have to now.
Yeah, you've promised.
I've been yapping about it for 30 minutes. I could yap all day about anime if I'm being real. But yeah, all right. Peace out. I'm Hungry Nation.